What is going on, chums? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another pickups video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I tend to do them every now and then if a load of cool stuff comes out all around the same time. I think the last one I did was back in May maybe, and yeah, a lot of stuff's come out in the last month, so everything in this video is going to be October, sort of. One thing turned up very late, we'll get to that at the end. But everything in this video is stuff I picked up in October. So let's get started. So similarly to the last video, I'm going to do kind of standard edition or smaller stuff first, and then we've got a couple of collector's editions that we'll look at the end. I'm not going to do full unboxings of those again, as with last time, because I don't really have the setup to do it, but I will show you everything that's in the box and we'll go through it. One of them just arrived today, which is the one I said was late. So I haven't actually looked through that yet, so that's going to be fun. But we'll start off with the first thing I bought in October, which is this. Which is Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, the latest Sword Art Online game. Now, I have a bit of a habit of buying Sword Art Online games and then not really playing them. Out of these four, the only one I've actually played any of is Fatal Bullet, and I played about 5 hours of it. I enjoyed it, but I just didn't stick with it for some reason. And there was a beta test going on for Fractured Daydream before it came out. I didn't play it, but I watched some of the coverage of it, and I thought it looked pretty fun. So I thought I'd pick it up, and it's kind of, I think the focus is multiplayer, going by what I've seen of it out there. I'm not sure if I'll play the multiplayer stuff. There's like, forget what it is, 12-player raids or something like that, I think, with everyone picking a character. And you can kind of see from the cover art, it's just there's a load of characters. Whereas Fatal Bullet, you kind of create a character and then you run into the characters from the Sword Art series. And then the two Alicization games, these two here that I'm struggling to hold up, doing a poor job of that. These two are kind of, as far as I know, following the Alicization arc of the anime, which I don't like. Thought it kind of sucked, but I bought them anyway because I'm a mug. I don't know what it is with me in Sword Art Online. Parts of it I really dislike. Yeah, I've got, as you can see behind me, a shelf full of Sword Art Online figures, and I keep buying the games. But I have played about 4 hours of this, I think. The single player is very mission based. You just kind of unlock characters as you go. It's all the characters from the series. So obviously Kirito and Asuna, but you've also got Len from GGO. I love GGO. Don't know if she's in the frame or not, but she's on my shelf there. You know, all the characters. This one apparently doesn't follow the game verse, although it does. One of the first DLC characters for a game verse specific character. I don't know the story of the games, so that was part of the reason I decided to jump in with this one, because it's kind of a original story that takes place after the Alicization arc. It's quite fun from what I've played of it. I haven't had much time to put into it, but I've enjoyed it. Played as Kirito and Asuna and Len. Unfortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh as well. And yeah, slowly making my way through the single player. I imagine by the time I actually unlock the multiplayer, it'll either be dead or everyone will be hundreds of levels above me. But apparently there are bots and you can play everything with bots, so I might just dip in and just see what it's all about when I get there. But primarily I bought it just to kind of have fun with Sword Art Online characters. Yeah, it's quite fun, enjoying it, but there you go. I now have 4 Sword Art Online games that I've barely touched. Now there have been quite a few games this October that I was very interested in getting, but I had to kind of pare it back a bit and ignore a couple, and focus on the ones I really wanted to get. Which is kind of weird to say when I've just showed you that Sword Art Online game that I've played like 4 hours of. But I've had to put a couple on the back burner, like the new Life is Strange. I'm excited for, even though there's been some kind of mixed reception to it, but I will get it. There was a couple of others as well that escaped my mind at the time being, but there were 4 games that I wanted to get, so I focused on those. Fractured Daydream was one. This is another one. Metaphor ReFantazio, the new Atlas game, which is from Studio Zero, which is the Persona 3, 4 and 5 team that kind of made their own studio within Atlus to go and make something new, which is this. And it is very, very good. I'm only about 12 hours in at the moment because there's a lot to play at the moment. I'm just struggling to find time to put into any one game. But this is a very, very, very good game. If you're into JRPGs, you've probably already played it. You're probably already playing it or have finished it. Who knows? I mean, it's been out nearly a month at this point. I'm only 12 hours in. Still actually in the first proper dungeon. Like I say, I'm getting like maybe 20, 30 minutes a day on it. So it's taken me a while. And it's apparently as long as Persona 5. So this can take me a long while to get through it. But very good game. If you're interested in Atlus's games, go and pick it up. And while we're on the subject of Metaphor, I do also want to point these out, which I did in the last video as well, which was when I think Shin Megami Tensei 5 came out. But I mean, not too long ago we had basically no Atlus games on Xbox, and now, I mean, Persona 3 Reload, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 5 Tactica, we got Soul Hackers 2, we've got Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and now we have Metaphor. Not only are we getting Atlus JRPGs on Xbox, but we're getting full-on physical copies of them. This is what I like. You can maybe see behind me some of my physical games. I like my physical media. I like having a thing I can hold and put on a shelf and pick up and look at. And never before did I think we'd end up with 6 Atlus JRPGs, physical releases on Xbox. But yeah, very pleased to have all of those physical. Alright, this next one is not a new release, but it's something I didn't actually realise existed. And I saw it for cheap on Amazon, so I thought I'd snap it up. And that is the Chaos Double Pack, which is Chaos Head Noah and Chaos Child on the Switch. I actually have these on PC already, but I'll get it out. There's a steelbook, and I'm a sucker for a steelbook. And yeah, it's nice to own a physical copy of it. So I'm not going to play it because I have them on PC anyway. But it'll be nice to have it on my shelf alongside my other science adventure physicals, which you can see here. So I've got the Chaos Double Pack there. I've got the Robotics Double Pack, Robotics Notes, and the Robotics Notes Elite and Dash. Confusing myself there. And then the Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero Limited Editions back on the PS Vita. And then I have Chaos Child on the Vita as well, from back when that came out. So yeah, I very much like the Science Adventure series. Steins Gate is my favourite. I think it's probably the same as it was for a lot of people. It's kind of their gateway drug into the series. But yeah, great games, great stories. A bit weird, sometimes a bit creepy, certainly in the case of Chaos Head. But a good time. But yeah, I mean, that I didn't know it existed. I mean, I knew it had come out because I bought it on PC. Chaos Head hadn't come to the West until fairly recently. But I didn't know it got a physical release with a steelbook and everything, so I thought, what the hell, I'll snap that up and then I can stick it on my shelf next to my other physical science adventure games. So that's that one. Alright, next up is Grimoire Nier Revised Edition. Now, I picked this up at MCM, which we have a video up on the channel. Go and check it out. And yeah, I probably shouldn't have, because it was 40 quid and it's cheaper on Amazon. But I was at the con and I felt like buying something. I saw this at Forbidden Planet and thought, it's been on my wish list for like a year. Let's just grab it. This, if you're not aware, you're probably aware of the Nier series now after Automata, which kind of came out and put it on the radar for a lot of people. Me, I much prefer the original game, the first Nier Gestalt, as we got over here. It's a very important game for me. I'm not sure if it's in the shop, but I've got the remake Replicant, the limited edition there, and then my original copy of the game on the 360 is on the shelf just above it. This was kind of, well, the original version of this was kind of the holy grail for Nier fans for a long time. It didn't get a release in the West until last year, with this revised edition, which is based on the Replicant remake with the brother protagonist instead. But yeah, it was the original version was the holy grail for Nier fans because it explained a lot of the story stuff that isn't really explained in the game, or that is very vague. There's a lot of short stories that sort of fill out the world a bit better. It's just a tome of, it's like the story Bible for Nier, basically. And there was a fan translation that was done a number of years back. So for years I was planning on just buying a Japanese copy, which has Art of Kaine on the front instead of this one, which has Emil on the front. And then reading it along with the fan translation. I just never got around to it. And then this came out last year, this revised edition. So I think all the references in this version are to the Replicant remake, but that should still be pretty worthwhile. And all the short stories should mostly be unchanged, I think. I think there is one that's obviously different because the protagonist is different. And it's about sort of his younger days. But yeah, happy to finally have it, even if it's not entirely the one I originally wanted. I could still probably import a copy of the original one anyway and just sort of have it as a thing. Because, as I'm sure you can tell, I like having things of the stuff that I love. Hence all the figurines and pins and books and everything. I mean, can't see behind me because it's two lower shelves, but these two lower shelves are just filled with game art books and lore books and stuff. And yeah, this is another one to add to the collection. I'm not sure I've got space for it, so I might have to shuffle things around. But glad to finally have it. As I say, it was 40 quid at MCM. I think the last time I looked on Amazon a couple of days ago, it was 25. It was actually 30 when I bought it, but you know, one of those things, you're at a con, you feel like spending money. So I spent money on something I'd had on my wish list for a year. So yeah, really glad to have Grimoire Nier revised edition. Alright, we're getting into slightly larger items now. I think I spoke on my last pickups video about how much I love the Trails in the Sky trilogy. And I was really upset to miss the vinyl soundtrack box sets that they did. They were expensive when they were announced and they just disappeared very quickly. And I just never got the chance to get them. Pinbox recently, 2-3 weeks ago maybe, had a reprint on them. So I had to go and buy them. So here is Trails in the Sky first chapter. It's a big box. It's like 2 LPs, all each with their own artwork. Great artwork on the front as well. I will put a separate clip in showing like the artwork and the vinyl discs and everything. But this is the one I really wanted because as much as I love first chapter, I absolutely adore SC. Look at the artwork on that. Yeah, I really wanted to get that one at least. Second chapter is probably one of my favourite games of all time at this point. I absolutely love it. These were expensive. Can't remember off the top of my head how much they were because I just kind of went nuts and threw them on the credit card. I think they were over 100 quid each. And obviously I wanted to get Third as well because that was also there to complete the trilogy because I do really like Third as well. I love all 3 games. But I had to prioritise, you know, I couldn't just go out and blow 300 odd quid like that. And also these two, when they were up on the website, were in low quantities and Third just said in stock, so I had a bit more confidence that that one would stay there for a bit and I'd be able to get it. And I did go back and order a copy a few days ago. It hasn't turned up yet, obviously, otherwise it'd be in this video. But I will have the full trilogy of all 3. I do also have physical versions of all 3 games as well, which I showed in my last pickups video. I have the original EU release of Trails in the Sky first chapter, and then I bought imports of second and third. So yeah, it's nice to have all 3 games and all 3 soundtracks on vinyl. I will, as I say, I'll insert a little clip to show you what they look like now. Alright, so we'll take a quick look at the Trails in the Sky vinyl box sets. This is the booklet that comes in. Apparently I'm doing it in backwards order, but hey, let's roll with it. So this is Sky's second chapter. Again, that amazing art of all the cast. Louvet there, Joshua, Zin, focus please, phone. Got Shara, got Estelle, Chloe, Tita, even got Kevin, and then a gate hiding his face for some reason. Now the inside you've got some lyrics, some more art. It's Joshua Louvet and his big sister Karen. All the characters there, which is nice. Even stupid Kanone. Oh, lovely art. There's Ren and Tito is still. I like this panel here. Look at the state of Olivia. Try to outdrink Shara again. A bit more art. And then some more lyrics. And then on the back, slightly heartbreaking moment, not gonna lie. Okay, so that's the booklet. And then each record is in a separate sleeve. So that's the first one. Just fantastic art all over these things. So Estelle and her bestie. And there you can see the track listing. There's the first one. And a wide shot of Louvet, Karen's grave, I guess. I suppose it could also be the part where, I don't think it is, but it could be the part where he's paying respects in a Gates village, but I don't think so. It's probably in Hamel, or Hamel, however you want to say it. And then, look, it's Estelle and Joshua. And then the discs aren't picture discs, but I will show what they look like. So there's one, it's got Luciola on that one, on that side. And then you've got water on that one. So that's SC box set. Alright, and here's FC. Again, the same art on the front of the booklet. Lyrics again. Characters again. Obviously not all the same ones. Look, it's Dorothy. And again, in the centre, more art. Joshua dressed as a maid, because why not? Shara and Olivia on a date. Olivia out of his mind drunk again. Never gets old. It's Dorothy about to break a normal camera. Estelle and her parents. Estelle being terrified of ghosts. Chloe and the orphans. Estelle under a katatsu for some reason. Eat your hamburgers, Estelle. Illustration of Tita there, and then the Whereabouts of Light lyrics. And then on the back, some art of Estelle and Joshua as kids. There's Estelle introducing Joshua to Shara. Alright. So this is one of the sleeves for the LP. The Bright Family Home on the back. On the inside, Joshua cross-dressing again. Does that a lot. Good on him. Oh look, Estelle is eating her hamburgers. And then there's a second one. Now I recognise because that was the cover art for, at the very least, for the EU version of the first game on the PSP, which I have on my shelf. And inside, Joshua again in that was the play. And then the martial arts tournament towards the end of the first game. Zin just looking completely unenthusiastic. And then again, we'll have a look at one of the discs. Looks very similar. There you go. That one's got Estelle on that side. I assume Joshua on the other. Alright, so that is the Trails in the Sky FC and SC vinyl box sets, which are really nice. As I mentioned, they were expensive, but I'm glad I got them. I think they were all worth it. And I'll have the third soon. I won't bother doing a video when I get it, but I'll have all three on my shelf, which will be nice. Okay, so that was a quick little look inside the Trails in the Sky first and second chapter vinyls. I'm building up a bit of a collection of Falcom vinyl now. Obviously, I can't remember if I've shown these in a video before or not, but this one's Ys Origin, which is also beautiful. Got Fina and Rhea in the middle. This one's probably my favourite of the ones I have. Ys 8 soundtrack. Just on the back, just the Ys. I'm not going to show loads of these because these ones, the Ys 8 and Oath in Felghana one, these are both like the same size as the Trails in the Sky ones. I'm not going to go super in depth on those, but just to say, got a bit of a collection of Falcom vinyl now, which is very nice. And I might have Falcom Sound Team JDK play us out on the end of the video. Alright, now we are getting into the business end of the video. Another new release that came out this month that I was very excited about. And if you've been watching my recent videos on the channel, you notice I've been doing a Ys series, kind of, not playthrough, but like playing the first hour or so of each of the games in turn as it came up to the release of Ys 10 Nordics. This is a limited edition, which I had to get. Now, generally, I quite like that NISA's Falcom limited editions are on the smaller side because they take up less space, and I have quite a lot of them now, which I'll show you in a minute. This one I think could have done with being a little bit bigger, to be honest. Even if just to be able to get the stuff in and out of the box easily. It's stuffed in there very tight and it's difficult to get out and get back in. But as with the last pickups video, I will do a quick insert showing you everything you get in this limited edition. Alright, here we have the contents of the Ys 10 Nordics limited edition. I got everything out of the box because, as I said, all this stuff fits extremely snugly in the box. It's a pain in the backside to get it out. It's more of a pain to get it back in, to be honest. But anyway, let's have a quick look There is the game, the deluxe edition, as NISA always do. They give you the deluxe edition with the limited editions. Deluxe edition is basically the standard edition anyway. It just means you get a tiny little mini art book inside and a digital soundtrack. Say digital soundtrack, it's probably like 7 tracks. These things are never particularly great, but well, you know, it's better than nothing. It's better than the kick in the teeth. Speaking of soundtracks, here is the physical version. It's probably the same tracks on the digital one, but look at the art on this thing. This is why it's nice to have physical things. There are 8 tracks by the legendary Falcom Sound Team JDK. Now, the art on the front and the back of this is nice, but look at this disc. How cool is that? It's a very nice disc. And then there's art on the inside as well. And also under the disc. Adult there, Karja there. There is also a little metal pin. These 10 Nordics with some runes on it. I haven't taken this out, and I'm unlikely to, because I mean, you're pretty much going to have to destroy this cardboard thing to get it out, and I'm not going to put the pin on anything, to be honest. I wouldn't want to risk it popping off and losing it, so that's just going to stay there. There are also some postcards. I don't know why they do this. It's not like anyone would actually send these. They might as well be mini art cards, but I mean, look, they are literally postcards. Some nice art on them. Why would you send these through the post? It's a stereo there with Darmtower in the background. Dogi, Adol and Dr. Flair, I think his name is. Because this game, Ys 10, takes place right after Ys 2. Figure that one out. They really mess up with their own... Well, they don't mess up with the timeline. The games just kind of jump around a bit. I was doing a story order playthrough of these games, and now this one's come out and screwed it all up. And then we get the Book of Har, which I think is the gods of Karja's people, or the god of Karja's people in this game. Now, this looks like a fairly weighty tome, but I mean, most of the thickness of it is the cover. It's not like the book that came with like Reverie or Daybreak, which is just enormous. But, you know, some cool art in here. And do a full flick through of it because it's kind of difficult to hold it open with one hand. See? Okay, you've got your usual character art. And then world art. Bad guys. This is increasingly difficult. Yeah, there you go. Little art book. Let's see how many pages are in it actually. If they're numbered. Page number 43. So there you go, 43 pages. But it's a nice little collector's edition. As I say, I do appreciate that NISA keep these things fairly small. Give you a few little trinkets for a game that you love. Makes them a lot easier to store, but that isn't the only thing that came with this collector's edition. Because it also came with this. A bag. I remember watching a unboxing of, I think, the Japanese version of this, and literally that just came in the bag. But we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to take it out of this. I haven't actually looked at this yet, obviously. I've looked through all of that, but the bag I just kind of put aside for doing this video. So we're going to get it out of the plastic. I'm not going to do it one-handed on video because it will be very noisy. So let's get it out and have a look. Alright, so here's the bag out of the packaging. Ease 10 Nordics sling bag. So as you can see, one strap because it's supposed to go sort of crossbody, so you can let the strap out a bit, but it's a small bag. It's got a little front pocket. Probably get like, I don't know, your Oyster card in there or whatever. It's got like a pocket for a little extremely small water bottle, I guess. And then just the main part of it, which is, and grab it with one hand, red inside. It's a pretty small bag, as you can see. It'd probably be handy, as I say, like for a con bag or something. You could stick a selfie stick or a mini tripod and a power bank in there, and that'd probably be about it. But let's get a closer look at it. You've got that Ease 10 Nordics logo on there, stitched on. And then I assume this is some kind of item in the game or some kind of logo for something. I haven't played the game yet, so we'll find out when we get there. Falcom tag on it. Ease 10 Nordics on the other side. Yeah, just black on the back, slightly padded. A nice little extra, to be honest. I wouldn't use it for anything else because it's very small. Like I couldn't even take that to work with me. I wouldn't get stuff in it that I need to get into it. But yeah, for a con bag, it could work. It's a pretty strange extra to get in a limited edition. It's kind of novel, I suppose, to get something like that. Makes it a bit of a different collector's edition, which also possibly explains why 10's limited edition is a lot smaller than 8 and 9's. But yeah, bit of a weird one, but there you go. Now, as I say, I'm glad these are quite small because I've got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 of them now. Obviously I've got Ease 8, Ease 9 and Ease 10 here. Shuffle them over a bit. And then I've got Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, Trails into Reverie, Trails through Daybreak, and then Nayuta, which I picked up recently just because it was still in stock and I thought, why the hell not? So yeah, a lot of NISA Falcom limited editions. They're all pretty great. I think, to be honest, my least favourite of them is Ease 10 at the moment. My favourite is definitely the Ease 8 one. Ease 9's pretty solid as well, with the little figurine of Adol, Crimson King Adol you get. But yeah, at least I don't have to worry about where I'm going to fit this, unlike the next thing in this video. Alright, this last thing is so big, I'm not sure we're going to fit it in the frame. This was supposed to come 9 days ago, as of recording this video, and it just arrived today because Royal Mail was screwing me around, and that is the Dragon Age the Veilguard Rook's Coffer edition, which does not include the game. Which, to be fair, doesn't bother me because by the time I had ordered it, I hadn't decided whether I was going to play it on Series X or PC, and I still haven't actually bought the game because I've been doing a big series marathon and ended up putting 50 hours into Dragon Age 2. I'm currently about 65 hours into Inquisition. I got about a week away from the Veilguard coming out and I was really enjoying replaying Inquisition. Haven't played it since it came out, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to rush it. I'll just take my time, enjoy the game. Veilguard's not going anywhere. I'll just grab it when I finish. So I am near the end now, so probably within the next couple of days I'll finish it, and I'm probably just going to buy a copy of Veilguard on PC and play it on that. But I have the Rook's Coffer. It is big. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I really do not have the space for this. This I haven't even looked at yet because it literally came today. I was waiting to do all the other stuff I've shown in the video. I've had, like, the first thing I showed, Fractured Daydream, came on the 4th of October. It is the 9th now, I think, as of recording this. So I've been waiting for this to turn up to do this whole video, and it's 9 days late. The game came out on the 31st of October, so technically this works as an October pickup, even though it turned up so late. But yeah, we're going to take a look in this We're going to do it together because I haven't looked in it yet. I haven't looked at any unboxings of this because I tend to, if I know I've got a limited edition coming, I'll just not bother. I want to experience it for myself first. And I want to open it up and be wowed by it. So we're going to do that together right now. Alright, I had to zoom out a little bit to actually fit this thing in the frame. So hopefully the video quality hasn't gone down too much. But here it is, Rook's Coffer. You see it's just got Dragon Age on the front of it, or the bottom, whichever side you want to call that. The other sides, it's also on this side. These ends are just plain black, so I'm not going to bother showing that. But let's go ahead and open it up. This lovely Warden helmet on the front. Alright. Oh wow. There's a quote from Varric underneath. Alright, let's zoom back in to get better quality. Things always seem impossible at the beginning, just fight one battle at a time. Varric Tethras, everybody's favourite dwarf. So there's instructions for the Light Up Lyrium dagger, which, if like me you haven't played the game, you probably still would have noticed this dagger in Solus's hands in the gameplay reveal when he's doing his veil thing. So there's that. I must say, I mean, just get a peek at the Light Up Lyrium dagger. It's bigger than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be, I don't know, like half that size. And here is a little blurb from Corinne Bush, the game director, and John Epler, the creative director. So I'm not going to read it out, but you can just pause the video and read that at your leisure. There's Manfred and the Griffin, the little baby Griffin. There's a Griffin in this game, what the hell? Anyway, it's blank on the back. I'm very excited for the Veilguard. I know it's had some somewhat mixed reviews. It's had some really good reviews and some iffy reviews. But all the stuff they showed in the trailer, like Harding apparently wielding magic, a Griffin when they're supposedly, well, thought to be extinct. If you've read Last Light, which is a pretty entertaining novel in the series, you'll know more about the Griffins. Anyway, this is the dagger. Let's get it out. As far as I know, it's rechargeable via USB, so you don't need to worry about sticking batteries in it and stuff. Let's try and pop it out. There we go. And get the bag off of it. Alright. Can't even fit it in the whole frame. It is genuinely quite large. I mean, it's very plasticky, you expect that, but it's pretty cool as a collectible goes. Alright, how do we turn this thing on? Okay, there's a little switch there. Ooh, glowy. It's not singing to me, it's not real lyrium. But yeah, on the pommel as well. Or the guard, well, I don't know, I assume that's kind of the pommel bit, it's got a big ring on it. That's pretty cool, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I'm not going to try and tear down the veil between the Fade and the Waking World, but if I wanted to, I've got the dagger for it. There's also a little rolled up thing here. Now, to be honest, I've half forgotten what some of the items in this collector's edition are. I remembered the dagger and there's supposed to be like a leather quill in there, which I'm assuming is under this, because you can lift this up. We'll get under there in a sec. Let's see what this is, because I can't remember what else comes in this. Maybe a little cut here. Okay, this is really difficult to show because it's rolled up very tight, but it's like a print with all the companions on it. If I can find a picture, I will put a picture up because I am kind of bending it a bit and I don't want to do that. Doing this one-handed, definitely don't suggest doing that. But yeah, it's a print. If I can find a picture, it's on the screen now. Let's go underneath and see what else we've got. There's our quiver thing. Here is our little USB cable to charge our dagger up. Never thought those were words I'd be saying. This is our little potion flask, which is not food safe. It's pretty nice. It has got a stopper on it. I won't easily come off with one hand and I don't want to smash it. But I'm going to assume it comes off. Maybe it screws off. Okay, it doesn't screw off. You do just pull it off, but you'll probably need two hands to do it. I don't know where the hell I would put that without it rolling off a shelf and smashing. So I'll probably just stay in the box. But again, nice little collectible to have. Can I get the stopper back in one-handed? Not really. Alright, we have a deck of cards. To be honest, I kind of don't want to open them. Maybe I'll change my mind somewhere down the line, but I'm sure there are other unboxings where people go and show every single card. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep them pristine. And then the last, well, second to last thing is a little pouch here. I think it's a dice, actually, if I remember correctly. Be like D20 or something. Yeah, there we go. It's got like the conversation icons and stuff on it. Which is pretty cool. Definitely remember that one from Dragon Age 2. Quite big. I mean, you wouldn't be able to use it in a game of D&D. And then the last thing is our quiver, which, if I expected the dagger to be smaller, I expected the quiver to be larger. Because, I mean, you're not going to really put much of use in that. You'd have very, very dinky arrows if you were firing them from that quiver. But it is to hold a map. A cloth map. Unlike the kind of shitty paper one we got in the Baldur's Gate 3 Collector's Edition. Not that I'm drawing any comparisons between those games, because for one, I haven't actually played Baldur's Gate 3 yet. Just to say that Collector's Edition was supposed to come with a fabric map and they changed it to paper at some point. See if I can get this spread out. So it's not a huge map, but there we are. It's a big dog there for Ferelden, the Lion of Orlais. Aravels for the Dalish. The Inquisition's symbol on the Frostback Mountains. The Free Marches. There's Kirkwall there, isn't it? I believe that's Minrathous of the Tevinter Imperium. The Underfells, perhaps. I don't remember the northern part of Thedas as well as I do the southern part. There's what looks like a horrible sea monster there. I think that's a Canary ship, isn't it? I think that's probably Saharan above that, if I remember correctly. Probably not remembering correctly. It's been a long time. Yeah, that's the map, nothing on the back. And that is the Dragon Age the Veilguard Rook's Coffer. Alright, that was a look at everything I got in October. Now, let me know in the comments below if you picked up any of this stuff, if you're playing any of these games that came out in this very stacked month of October, what you think of them. And also let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed the format and this is something you'd like to see us do more of on the channel. I try to do it every now and then when things just kind of conspire to come out at the same time and I can kind of pack a lot of good stuff into one video rather than doing separate quick unboxings of everything. But let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time and play us out, Sound Team JDK.